So tell me, world, are you scared of the dark? When it all goes down and the lights go out, I'm not the one you wanna see. Some will and some won't, some do and some don't. Now tell me who you're gonna be. See, I couldn't really give a fuck if I am so unbearable. All that I really care about is that I'm uncomparable. They're bigger than me and they're quicker than me, but they know that nobody is sicker than me, cause they can kill X and they can kill Y.
Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and this is episode number 27, season number 5, and we start off with a game away to Milan. So we're going to be in Italy, which is fantastic. Looking at that Milan side, oh my days, they've got some amazing players. El Shaarawy, Pato, Emmanuelson, Boateng. I mean, they've got Robinho on the bench, which is pretty damn scary, but they've really got a nice team. They've got Abate at right back, which is pretty cool. So they've got a really nice team. But today I want to talk to you about something really important. Something that we need to address before we get to the summer, and we need to discuss the team. So while you're watching the fantastic content in the background, I need you to go and grab yourself a cup of tea. Just press the pause button literally for 2 seconds, grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself some Jaffa cakes, sit down, and we need to do some serious business. We've got to seriously think about the summer. At this moment in time, we have a squad with our youth players, all the youth players we've signed. I mean, what a ball that was. Oh, Filippo missing that effort was really frustrating. Got to say, this is one of the hardest games I've played. I actually felt this was like legendary, to be honest. Milan were absolutely at the races, all over me, untouchable at times. I mean, look at the way Emmanuelson just bounces off everybody. And El Shaarawy, you just don't give him an opportunity. Seriously, don't even give him a sniff of the ball, let alone let him look at the goal, because he will punish you, as he just did to make it 1-0. But I want to talk about the team, because essentially this summer is going to be a big summer, and I want to get a head start on it, because I want to do the old school summer where we do the player reviews. I really enjoy the player reviews, and I want to bring the player reviews back. But before we bring the player reviews back, look at that cross from Zaha, and oh my freaking god, Filippo with an absolute monster header after 18 minutes to drag us back into the game, because I ain't going to lie, Milan had dominated for 17 minutes 30 seconds. They were just absolutely immense. And speaking of immense, El Shaarawy went and scored again in the 36th minute, which was really quite annoying. But hey ho, what can you do? As I say, don't give him a sniff of the goal. He's just freaking amazing. So we have basically 38 players, and as you know, on our youth academy list at this moment in time, we have got we've got Mills, we've got Tongi, we've got Danny Barrera, you know, that goalkeeper who's got like a 94 potential, 89 to 94 potential, who I'm desperate to get into the club. He hasn't changed age for what seems like 50 seasons, but I want him to get to 16. I want to bring him in the club because I want to start playing him. I want him to grow, because Butland is getting on. I know he's like 24, 25, so he's really getting on in 8 years. No, I'm only joking, but it'd be really nice to bring in another solid goalkeeper, because the one we currently have only has a potential of, I think it's 74 to 78, something like that. And I want to bring in Danny Barrera, which means we'll have 39 players. And on top of that, I want to obviously bring in the third Tremel brother. We've got to bring in Mills. We've got to bring in Tongi, a couple of English lads who have got great potentials. But that would give us 41 players. So we've got a lot of business to do. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to name you the two formations. As you know, I play. I like the 4-1-2-1-2 and I like the 3-5-2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the players that I would play in each of those formations and give you my substitutes. And then we're going to have to break it down and think of players we're seriously going to have to get rid of. We're going to have to make sacrifices. It's going to hurt. I know it's going to hurt, because a lot of people have been suggesting that we should move Filippo on. I don't know if I'm at that stage in my career where I could actually let Filippo go. Do you know what I mean? He's a very sentimental part of me. It was hard enough letting go of Gabs the first time round. Bringing Gabs back was fantastic, but perhaps we might have to sacrifice him again, which is a little bit frustrating. But Isco is fuming at his role on the sidelines. He's missed like 2 games. What the fuck is wrong with my players? What is wrong with my players? I don't understand it. As you can see, Jack Butland, he's actually 24 years old. He should be turning 25 quite soon. He's rated 86, plus 4 overall. His statistics are disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This boy, Fabio, I tell you what, if you watch the... I don't know if I get to show a close-up of him. If you see a close-up of Fabio, he looks like Thiago Silva. Anyway, while you guys are looking at statistics in the background, do look at them, because there's some increases on players, and there's some of the players have just got mental statistics. Look, Eduardo's gone up, which is fantastic. Some real mental statistics, which is fantastic. I'm going to name you my 4-1-2-1-2. I would have Butland in goal, Walker right back, Indy at left back, Callis and Colker would be my 2 centre backs. CDM is obvious, it's a give me. It's got to be Eduardo. He's just fantastic. Left midfield, I would go for Ola John. Ola John is just absolutely fantastic on the wings. He really is. Plus left midfield, he can cut in onto his right foot. On right midfield, I would go for Nicholas Tremmel. He's only just come into the team. He's only just broken into the development squad. He scored a goal against Rotherham. He's broken into the first team, and I'll tell you what, he is absolutely sensational. Left-footed, playing on the right side. He's just an absolute diamond of a player. He really, really is phenomenal. Obviously, in cam, I would have to go with Filippo. Filippo is just a godsend. Up front, I think Yacine Benzia and, of course, John the Beast Guidetti are an immense partnership. Substitute-wise, obviously I would like Danny Barrera, who would interchange with Butland, but substitutes-wise, I would have Stefan, because he can play right-back and centre-back, which is very important. Luke Shaw for left-back, obviously. Busy, or Bizit, I'd like to call him Busy, as on the bench. Also, Morrison, Rocket and Miguel. Now, the other formation I like to play is the 3-5-2, and with the 3-5-2, I would like to have Butland obviously in goal. I would go Stefan as right centre-back, because he can play right-back, right centre-back. It makes sense. Left centre-back would be Indy, because he could play left centre-back and left-back, etc. And also Colker. And you can probably see I'm looking at Oliveira on the screen. He hasn't lived up to what I thought. He hasn't scored the goals that I thought he could score. He's just, I don't know, there's something about him that confuses me. Now, continuing on with the 3-5-2, this might confuse people, but I would play Eduardo in CDM alongside Ravel Morrison. Now, I know that may seem a little bit strange, but I tell you what, Ravel Morrison will start to play in a CDM position, and I tell you what, he is going to dumbfound people because he is an absolute gem in there. His passing statistics are immaculate and suit him to that position. He may not be able to play it because I think it's CM, LM and RM he can play. I think Cam as well, but he's so suited to a CDM role, it's just mental. It really blew my mind. Obviously, the rest of the team that speaks for itself would be Ola John, Tremmel, Filippo, Yacine Benzir and John Guidetti. Now, as I say, we have 38 players. We have seriously got to think about making some huge sacrifices. Those sacrifices covers youth players, some of the youth players who we don't really think are cutting edge. You know, we've got to be really, really harsh, and some of the big name players, we've got to be really harsh. The likes of, what a goal from Isco. I was going to say literally the likes of Isco, Adrian, Zaha. We've seriously got to sit down and contemplate their future. I really do love Isco. I love the way he plays. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Dimbia, is that Dimbia? I think that's how you, or Dimbar. Dimbia. I'm going to say it's Dimbia. You can correct me in the comments below if you wish. You know my phonetic is bullshit, and you know my pronunciation of the names suck donkey dick. But there you go. That's life. Look at Rocker doing some huge work on that left-hand side. Sorry. Look at him doing some huge work. He's phenomenal. Giving the ball into Isco. Isco into Benzir, and that is a great finish. Benzir is just sublime. Absolutely sublime. So as I was saying, we've got to make some really tough decisions, and we've got to be harsh, because as a manager, you have to take your team apart and rebuild them every now and then. It's just a cycle of a football manager's life. And West Ham have got to that point when we have so many players. We have a lot of youth players coming through. I'm not going to ditch all the youth players, you know. We've got some immense talent coming through. We've got the German Xavi. No, he's Italian. He's Italian, John. He's such a dipshit. We have the Italian Xavi coming through. We've got Rocca. We've got Miguel. 3 fantastic players. That's without even thinking about Robin, who's out on loan. I think he's at loan at Sheffield Wednesday, I think, somewhere like that. He's a cracking centre-back with absolutely immense work rates. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. As I say, Danny Barrera, he's going to be the new Butland in goal. He's Spanish, he's flamboyant. I've seen him play in development matches. I've seen him play many, many times, and he is absolutely fantastic. How did we get away with that? Unbelievable piece of luck. Absolutely unbelievable piece of luck. Look at that ball from Indy into Miguel. Miguel moving forward, knocks it into Ryan Wabar. He's brilliant, actually, I've got to say. And look, puts the ball into Tremmel. Tremmel onto his left foot. Oh my freaking god, that boy is a godsend. He is epic. End of story. All I can say about him, he is just purely 100% epic. So we have got a lot of work to really, really do. Because as I say, I want to bring back the player reviews, and we need to prep for it early. We need to get it sorted early so I know roughly what sort of players we're looking at. So I've got a good choice of players. I can go out, have a look at them, see what they play like. You know, we could have a look at Bazatelli. I know you guys want me to say, look, there you go, look. These are the players. Look at some of these potentials. Alessandro, 88 to 94 for crying out loud. He's got to come to the club. He's going to be magnificent. Callum, not too bad. You know, Danny Barrera, there's Danny Barrera. Danny Barrera, 89 to 94 as a goalkeeper. Eric Zemanski. Look at that. Leroy Mills, you know, Jacob Tonga. We've got Matthias Tremel has to come to the club because we've got to keep the three brothers together. So, do you know what I mean? We have got such a great deal of business to do. We have basically got to get rid of a lot of players. A lot of youth players who we consider to be deadwood are going to have to be gone. We're either going to release them or we're just literally going to give them away to anybody, to be honest, if they're not the sort of players that we think have the good enough potential or just aren't in the limelight at this moment in time. We've got to be harsh, we've got to be cutthroat, it's going to hurt, but we've got to do it. And that goes for the mainstay players. We are seriously talking at this moment in time. We've seriously got to consider letting go. Isco, Adrian, Zaha are just three players I'm going to name off the top of my head. Diami 4, Gabs 5. You know, I don't want to keep saying them because I don't want you guys to get all disappointed and downhearted, but it's just something we have to do. We just have to do it. We have to free up some capital. We have to build a decent side to challenge for everything. You know, I want to have a go at winning everything. Absolutely everything. I want to win the FA Cup again. We haven't won that for a few seasons, and I'm going to be honest, that really fucking hurts that we haven't won the FA Cup for a few seasons. You know, we dominated it back-to-back seasons. We won the FA Cup. The first trophy we won as a club was the FA Cup, and it hurts that we haven't won it for a little while. The league, I want to be challenging for the league again. Yes, we're going to need depth, but we're going to need quality depth. So only the strong will survive from the youth team. We're going to be cutthroat. It's going to hurt. On top of that, striker-wise, you know, we've got to be harsh. If we feel that a striker's time is up, then he's got to go. You know, there's going to be no love lost whatsoever. Look at Adrian, he's just been cleaned out, referee. The referee plays on. That's ridiculous. Some nice silky skill moves, though, doing some kick-ups. But I've got to say, that's a poor decision by the referee as Ravel Morrison picks up the ball, puts it onto his right foot and misses the near post shot, which is unbelievable. After 5 minutes, West Ham are already dominating Milan, who lead 3-1 on aggregate, which is a disgusting score to say the absolute least. So that's what we need to do, guys. So I can't wait to start reading your comments on player recommendations. A, for players to bring in, and B, for players that we're going to have to let go. And that includes youth players. You know, the likes of Robinson might have to go. You know, we've got to be really, really cutthroat about the whole situation. So have a look at the squad report again. Get a feel for what players we have at the actual club. And be cutthroat, guys. We've got to be absolutely spot on. We've got to rebuild this side. We've got to let a lot of players go and bring in some good players. And overall, I would really like to bring in a world-class finisher. I know we've been saying it, and one of the first names on the release sheet at this moment in time is Nelson Oliveira. He just had not lived up to what I wanted. He's just frustrating me. Perhaps we should have gone for Luke de Jong, Rodrigo. Perhaps we should have bit the bullet and gone for Destro. But we'll, you know, I'm a manager who will stand by my word, and I believe we made the right decision at the time. It just hasn't worked out so far. But who's to say, come the end of the season, it won't work out? So yeah. Hopefully you guys will come up with some fantastic player options as Milan are just coming back into this game. So much is starting to dominate us, but that's enough from me. Let's get into the commentary. Let's get into this game. Let's see what's happened as Ravel Morrison picks up the ball in the centre of the park, giving it to Filippo. Filippo marauding down that left-hand side, plays the ball through to Adrian. Adrian out on the left-hand wing, puts the ball in with his left foot. A great cross, but Milan able to defend it with such ease. But the ball was Ravel Morrison yet again, playing so well in the centre of the park. CDM roll next to Eduardo as he unleashes a shot that just goes wide of the post. West Ham are really stepping up their game. Morrison again, getting in the pre-tackle, then collecting the ball, feeding it through into Benzier. Benzier going down the left-hand side, pulls the ball back, great ball to the back post, a great header. Zaha has the ball near to the box, goes for the shot, great block by Milan yet again. Milan just seemed to be able to stop absolutely everything, and West Ham are throwing the kitchen sink, the stadium, the fans, the Jaffa cakes at them. A great ball in by Gudetti, but again, Milan are able to clear the ball with such ease. Again, Benzier, ball on the edge of the box, into Gudetti. Gudetti makes space for himself, he's hit the post! And the ball's been cleared off the line. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What do West Ham have to do to score? I just do not know. Zaha pick up the ball inside his half. Has just played an absolutely audacious ball through to Filippo. Filippo rounds the keeper and scores. Filippo in the 42nd minute makes it West Ham United 1, Milan 0. Can West Ham turn this tie around? What an unbelievable ball by Zaha. Filippo didn't go round the keeper. He just nonchalantly slotted it home. And I've got to say, that's the end of the episode, guys. Do hate to frustrate you, but I will catch you tomorrow.